All of the madness has come to this. 3 men's title games in Las Vegas on Saturday, and all will feature 1 versus 2 matchups in the championship game. We will try to tell you how we got to this point as we take another wild ride on Vegas Madness tonight here from the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas. This was where the action wrapped up. We were all over town, the Orleans Arena with the WAC. We were at, of course, the Pac-12 over at T-Mobile, and the Mountain West tournament here inside the Thomas and Mack, where Colorado State and San Diego State just wrapped up all of the action here in Las Vegas. We'll try to get you updated on everything that went on and let you know what's going on tomorrow as we join you again on Vegas Madness tonight. Thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. Enough of you wrote in to keep us going for one more night. So we'll try to keep this going for you and entertain you for one more night here in Vegas. And then tomorrow with the championship games, that'll be our last one, we think, unless everyone really, really wants us to come back, and then we'll just find something to talk about even when the basketball leaves. All right, let's get to what went on today. Most of the eyes were on T-Mobile Arena and what figured to be a great night of semifinal action, but little did anyone know the true madness was going to go on over at the Orleans Arena. We'll let you know what went on in the WAC tournament in just a little bit, but that's why this is the best time of year in Las Vegas. The center of it all for conference tournament week. In fact, it all happens on one stretch of road. If you're from outside of town, you might not know, but all of these venues are on Tropicana Avenue. 3.5 miles separates the Orleans Arena and the Thomas and Mack Center, where we are right now. T-Mobile Arena right smack in the middle of both of them. So all of that going on in just a little bit of area, and there is so much craziness to catch up on. Man, wait until you hear what went on at the Orleans. But as we said, we'll start over at T-Mobile. Pac-12 tournament, Oregon survived a little bit of a scare from Cal. The Bears put up a valiant effort before falling 73-65. Score was particularly important because of what happened at the very end. If you don't know about what goes on in Las Vegas, there is something unique to the city in the sports betting element that happens. Oregon survived at the end of the game. They were up 7. They get fouled with 2 seconds left. That's Dylan Brooks, the star for Oregon, goes to the line, makes the first to go up 8. The line in most places was 8.5. So the whole arena is waiting on pins and needles to see what happened. And he missed the free throw. There was a big groan from the Oregon fans who had laid the 8.5. That is something you only see in Vegas, and that's part of why we call it Vegas Madness. Game may have been even closer, though, if Cal's Jabari Bird hadn't taken a hard fall in the first minute of the game and not returned. He was taken to UMC and treated for a concussion, but his coach, Quanzo Martin, wasn't making any excuses.
He's at the hospital. That's all I know as of right now. Waiting to see the doctor. That's what I just got. So I'm not sure after that. I thought they did a great job competing, but that's what we're supposed to do, and that's part of our program. So that part should be understood. But it's a big loss, especially on the offensive side of the ball, that level of production. And then so you have guys playing multiple minutes or more minutes than they normally play against a team of that caliber. It's not an easy thing to do, but I thought the guys did a great job battling and competing.
Martin is a very intense coach on the sideline. So is Dana Altman, one of the better coaches in the country. And Oregon didn't feel any sympathy. They've dealt with injuries of their own this year, but are now healthy, have their sights set on reaching a Final Four. But first things first, they want to win another title here in Las Vegas at the Pac-12 tournament.
We'd like to win the conference tournament again. This is the 5th year it's been in Vegas. We've been in the finals now 4 times. We've won a couple of them. We lost one. So we'd like to win 3 out of 5. Would be pretty good accomplishment, and I'm proud of the guys. Like I said, Jordan, this is his 3rd straight one, and Dylan Brooks, Casey, those guys, they've been in this game. So hopefully that experience, that energy will help us tomorrow night.
Oregon will look to do just that on Saturday night when they play Arizona at 8 p.m. in the Pac-12 title game. Wildcats had a surprisingly easy time with UCLA in the nightcap on Friday night, giving star freshman Lonzo Ball all kinds of problems throughout the evening, frustrated him on both ends of the floor. Lonzo Ball, not his best performance. He'll look to bounce back when UCLA makes it the NCAA tournament. But it was a tough game for him as Arizona got an easy win, but things got a bit tense at the end. Arizona's Sean Miller called the timeout with 0.9 seconds left in an 11-point game. Apparently it stems back to an issue we had with Alford calling a timeout late in the UCLA win against Arizona. Steve Alford was not happy in the handshake line. You can check out the video on my Twitter account, Adam Hill LVRJ. But it was ugly between those two. It's never ugly between our two favorite college basketball reporters, though. Ed Graney, our great columnist, and Steve Karp, one of the best in the business. He is back on the college basketball beat for this week. You'll find all of his great Golden Knights coverage, of course, covering the NHL. But Ed and Steve, always great together, and they have a report on what is going to go on at the Pac-12 tournament on Saturday.
It's Ed Graney and Steve Karp from the Review-Journal here live at T-Mobile Arena. Steve, the Seas have advanced to the Pac-12 tournament. Oregon, Arizona will meet each other tomorrow night for the championship.
No surprise, Ed. Form held up throughout this tournament. Great atmosphere here tonight, by the way. So the league's move from the MGM Grand to T-Mobile was the right one. And we're going to have a great game tomorrow. It's really like a heavyweight fight. Arizona, which you know is going to come hard, against Oregon, a team with a lot of talent. And there's a lot on the line tomorrow night because the winner will probably get a top seed in the NCAA tournament. I think it's going to be a really critical battle and 40 minutes of going after each other.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. If the winner gets a 1, they're probably going to be shipped out because Gonzaga's probably going to be the 1 in the West. The winner maybe gets a 2, and they'll have to go through Gonzaga to get to the Final Four. Quick thoughts, I think Laurie Markkinen tomorrow night can maybe give Oregon some issues. It was a blowout in Eugene earlier in the year, the only time they played. It will not be a blowout tomorrow night. I think we both agree. Who do you like?
I'm going to go with Oregon, but I think it's going to be a test for them. Markkinen's really starting to come on. He's not a freshman anymore. He had 29 tonight against UCLA. He is one of the most fundamentally skilled players I've seen in the country this year. He's really sound at what he does. Great feet, great hands. He's becoming a leader. He's comfortable playing in this environment. Oregon may just have too many weapons. I don't expect Dylan Brooks to have a bad night like he did tonight. I think it's going to be the Ducks, but it's going to be tough.
I think I'll take Oregon as well. Interchangeable parts. They're ultra athletic, and I think they get it done as well. Live from T-Mobile Arena, it's Ed Graney and Steve Karp.
Thanks, guys. Excellent stuff as always, and make sure you follow both of them on Twitter and the RJ Sports account as well to keep track of all the scores and action from over at T-Mobile Arena during the championship game on Saturday night. It was also a semifinal Friday over at the Thomas and Mack in the Mountain West tournament. UNR played an awful first half, but put up a huge second half to pull away for an 83-72 win over Fresno State. Wolfpack got revenge for a sweep by Fresno State in the regular season. Marcus Marshall had 28 points for UNR. Cam Oliver added 27. 43 of those 55 points came in the second half for Reno. In the second game, San Diego State led much of the way, but as they did in the 2 regular season meetings, Jean Clavel and Colorado State offense proved too much down the stretch. Clavel hit his only 3 of the game with about 4 minutes left to put Colorado State up 4. The Aztecs never recovered. He had 21 points overall to help lead the Rams to a 71-63 win, but Coach Larry Eustace was really more concerned about what time the game ended. He wanted these guys to go home.
Can we wrap it up now? It's midnight.
Coach Eustace, always good for a couple of good moments in a press conference, but once the players were allowed to leave, Eustace explained his frustration. He knows his team has a game to prepare for in less than 15 hours, and it's no easy task.
I don't understand why there's a 9:30 game. I think Craig came out and said we're going to change some things with the contract, but it's midnight. These guys are going to bed. It's supposed to be about the student athlete, but we'll have no excuse. Both teams are tired, I'm sure. We played 2 really hard games, but it is a quick turnaround, and with the adrenaline and what have you, it's hard to fall asleep. It really is. So, but the biggest problem we're going to have tomorrow is not the time of the game or when this game is over with. It's going to be Nevada and who they have on that team. That's going to be, Marshall's going to be the biggest problem, and then Oliver. So a time change, or if we flew to China and played this tomorrow, that'd be fine if we weren't playing Nevada. So the biggest problem we have at 3 o'clock tomorrow is Nevada.
Should be a good one here at the Thomas and Mack Center. The women's tournament wrapped up earlier Friday. Boise State pulled away for a 66-53 win over Fresno State to take the women's title. Boise State was the 4 seed, while Fresno State was seeded 7th, what proved to be a chaotic bracket. Remember, it was Fresno that knocked off the Lady Rebels in the semifinals on Thursday. Boise is off to the NCAA tournament, while Colorado State, Wyoming, and UNLV will anxiously await Sunday to learn their postseason fate. Not that UNLV will get in the NCAA tournament, but depending on where the other teams fall, they have a shot to get in the WNIT, which would be a great accomplishment for a team with no seniors. Well, we told you earlier the real wackiness was over at the Orleans, where the WAC semifinals took place. We'll have to check, but Cal State Bakersfield and Utah Valley might still be playing. They were in an epic battle that just wouldn't end. Eventually, the top-seeded Roadrunners won the war of attrition in the fourth overtime. Neither team could make a shot. But if you want to check out all the details, look for Bill Slane's story at reviewjournal.com. Follow him as well up on Twitter. He'll be on the scene again tomorrow when Bakersfield tries its best to recover from that extra half. That's right, an extra half, 20 full minutes of basketball that they played in that 4-overtime thriller. They'll play New Mexico State in the 8 p.m. title game. The Aggies were a 78-60 winner over Missouri, Kansas City. In the nightcap on the women's side, Utah Valley's Cinderella run came to an end with a 61-60 loss to Seattle in the semifinals. UVU had the ball with a chance to win, but never got a good look. Seattle will play top-seeded New Mexico State, which was also a 71-63 winner over Missouri, Kansas City. The matchup between the top two teams will take place at 3 p.m. over at the Orleans Arena. So you've got championship games all over town tomorrow. We'll have it all covered. RJ Sports on Twitter. Follow all of our reporters up there as well. Adam Hill, LVRJ for my Twitter account. At Heidi Fang doing a great job behind the scenes as always. And don't forget to read reviewjournal.com. But if you miss anything, we will be back with the last Vegas Madness tonight of 2017 tomorrow night. Please join us then. Can't wait to talk to you again.